Yo, what's going on, everybody? So today I'm making a video that I never thought I was gonna make, which is the possibility of Sarada learning the Byakugou. And I, for a long time, have been really against this idea because I was so afraid that if they had Sarada go down this path, that there's a great chance she become a Tsunade clone or a Sakura clone, and that's something I did not want for her character. However, because of what's happened in Boruto chapter 35, I think there's a huge possibility that this is gonna happen. Now, I can say this to anime only viewers. I'm not gonna be going over major spoilers. I'm only gonna be talking about a slight, perhaps moderate spoiler depending on where you fall on the scale. But I would say this, I don't think that it's going to be something that is going to ruin your enjoyment of the Boruto franchise if you decide to stick around. Though what I will also say is, if you're anime only and you don't want to run into any spoilers whatsoever, you can click off the video. Over 60% of the content on the channel is spoiler free, so there's other content for you to check out. And if you want to get caught up on the Boruto manga, or you're curious about what's going on in the manga, I highly recommend checking out the Manga Plus app. Once again, to restate, this ain't a sponsorship. I'm not getting any money from it. I just encourage people to support the official release, because the better the official releases do over in the Western countries like Europe and the United States and South America, the better they do, the more likely that companies like Viz Media are going to license more material in order to give us everything that we've been missing out on the Naruto franchise, because there's so much more to the story that hasn't been released over here because of what's going on with Viz. So with that being said, if you're still here, let's go ahead and talk about this possibility. So a lot of people have wanted Sakura to teach Sarada the Byakugou because they feel that when Sarada eventually awakens her Mangekyo Sharingan, that the Byakugou could be used as a way to counteract the whole thing that's going on with Sarada eventually losing her eyes, because she would overuse the Mangekyo Sharingan over time. And the logic behind that theory, it made a lot of sense. It made a lot of sense, and I didn't downplay that. And yet at the same time, again, I just take my bias into effect. I like Sarada's character. I like what Kishimoto did in Naruto Gaiden, and I like some aspects of what the anime's done, but I just couldn't see Sarada doing that because, again, I didn't want her to take on those characteristics of Sakura and Tsunade, because those are two characters that some people love them, a lot of people hate both characters, and I didn't want that for that character Sarada. Again, I'm biased when I say that. However, because of what's happened in Boruto chapter 35, dude, we might be seeing this, because Sarada is going home to ask Sakura how the Byakugou works in this chapter. She's doing it more so because of what's going on with Boruto and Boruto's karma, and we know that Boruto does want to speak to Tsunade because, according to Orochimaru, there's a lot of lore that is tied to the Byakugou that even Tsunade and other people might not know, and it opens up the door for a lot more when it comes to what's going on with the Naruto lore. Now, what I also would like to say, the way that they're doing this, it's made me come around to it, because let's not forget the Byakugou, let's not forget that it's overpowered, okay? Because on one hand, people say, oh, well, it's just like a walking cheat code. You get this insane stamina boost, you get this insane speed boost and stat boost. Sakura went from being like next to nothing, according to some people, to all of a sudden she unlocks the Byakugou, and when you go by Naruto Databook 4, she's on equal footing to KCM2 Naruto and EMS Sasuke. So I personally would say more so to fatigue KCM Naruto and fatigue EMS Sasuke, though I'll leave that for the power scalers. They can crunch their numbers and go through with the feed examples of how Sakura was able to charge forward at Madara and all these other things. You know, I'll let them have it. That, you know, power scaling, that's more, you know, of a science and all that stuff. I don't really get caught up in that shit. But I would say this part though, what I really like about this possibility, what I really like about this is, because of how the manga's handled it, well, all of a sudden Sarada's getting the training that so many of us have wanted her to get. Now, on one hand, I hated the idea of Sakura training her, but let's not forget, Sarada has displayed that she has really great chakra control. It's something that's been thrown in our faces since the beginning of the series, just about that. Her chakra control is better than a lot of other characters. And when you look at the Byakugou, it is hands down the pinnacle of chakra control. It was stated in the manga that this is the pinnacle of chakra control. And in order to put this into perspective for you, basically the user sets aside a portion of the chakra. Depending on what translation that you've read, it can be something that is either selected by the user, or it can be up to 30% of the person's chakra being stored into a focused place. For Tsunade and Sakura, they store it into their forehead, and after they reach a certain point of chakra being stored, that's when that diamond seal of the Byakugou suddenly shows up. And even someone like Shizune, who is a very talented medical ninja, someone who was Tsunade's apprentice for a very long time, someone who was a special jonin, if I'm not mistaken, even Shizune couldn't master this technique. However, when you look at it and you look at the amount of just off-screen training this will require, it's enormously difficult because you're gathering chakra at all times. And because it's saying you're gathering it at all times over a lengthy period of time, that means that like when you're going to sleep, you got to be gathering chakra while you're sleeping. You have to condition your body to a point where it's always working. It's always working to store that chakra. And before someone says, that's absolutely insane, there's no way you can do it, I would say this: if you're taking that stance, let's not forget the fact that Rock Lee has trained his body to a point where even when Rock Lee is sleeping, his body is still training. It's been shown in the anime that Rock Lee can do something like that. So given all that information, again, where there's a will, there's a way. So, and you look at Naruto characters, they defy physics and reality as it is anyway. You have to suspend disbelief when you get to certain franchises like this. So it's not out the realm of possibility that the entire time that Sarada would be sleeping, she'd be focusing that chakra. And when you look at what's going on with her team, right? When you look at what's going on with her team, Sarada is quickly falling behind. Mitsuki has Sage Mode. Boruto has Karma. Boruto has the Jogan. Karma, we know Karma gives a stat boost. We know that the Jogan, according to the anime illustrator or one of the people who works on the storyboards, I forgot which one it was, according to them, when Boruto fully masters his Jogan, it's going to be more powerful than the Tensegan. So Boruto has 2 stat boosts available to him. Sarada has to get something. Mangekyo Sharingan is not going to be enough for Sarada. Hell, even Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, if Sasuke takes her back to Obito's lab and magically those eyes have not been destroyed and Sarada gets Sasuke's original eyes, even that won't be enough for Sarada to close that gap. So it would make a lot of sense if she got that strength of 100 healings, that Byakugou seal, and then all of a sudden, now because of how old Boruto and his classmates are in the timeline, we're setting up for the fact that Sarada would have a little over 3 years to be storing chakra into her forehead and forming the Byakugou seal. When she unleashes all of that, just like Sakura did, we could see Sarada take several leaps in power to where she could rival that of her teammates. But I want to know from you guys, do you like the idea of Sarada eventually awakening the Byakugou? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.